There's a voice inside your head, one no one else can hear, yet it controls everything you do. It's the voice that questions your worth, that reminds you of every misstep, that whispers, "You're not enough." It can be relentless, echoing through your thoughts when the world outside finally goes silent. We often think of our greatest enemies as people or circumstances, but for most of us, the fiercest battle is internal. It's not against others, it's against our own self-talk. This inner dialogue can be a teacher or a tormentor, a source of power or a chain that binds us. The Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, understood this better than anyone. They lived in an age of wars, loss, and uncertainty, yet they found peace not by changing the world, but by mastering the mind. Their wisdom endures because it speaks to something timeless in us, the desire to live free from the tyranny of our own thoughts. In this lesson, we'll explore how to silence the inner critic and replace it with a voice of reason, resilience, and strength. We'll dive into the timeless teachings of Stoicism, backed by modern psychology, to learn how to transform negative self-talk into fuel for courage and clarity. Because when you master the conversation within, you reclaim your greatest source of power, yourself. Before we dive in, please like and subscribe to our channel. The first step to overcoming negative self-talk is to separate the self from the thought. When we experience negative self-talk, we often make a critical mistake. We believe that those thoughts define us. But Stoic philosophy, especially through the teachings of Epictetus, tells us that our thoughts are not who we are. They are events of the mind, not reflections of our true identity. He taught, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. What this means is that our inner suffering doesn't come directly from reality. It comes from how we interpret reality, and more importantly, how we identify with those interpretations. If you can learn to separate your sense of self from your stream of thoughts, you create psychological distance, what both Stoics and modern cognitive behavioral therapists call cognitive detachment or cognitive distancing. Instead of getting swept up in a tide of self-criticism, you begin to observe your thoughts, almost as if you're watching clouds pass across the sky. The Stoics often practiced a mental discipline called view from above. They imagined stepping outside themselves, seeing their life, their worries, and their thoughts from a higher, more objective vantage point. You can try a similar practice when negative self-talk arises. Pause. Don't fight the thought. Simply notice it, label it. Say quietly to yourself, this is a thought, not a fact. Step back mentally. Imagine the thought as a passing train. You can watch it come and go without climbing aboard. When you understand this, negative self-talk loses its grip. You stop being a victim of your mind and become the quiet observer, steady, self-aware, and in control. That's the Stoic way. Step 2. Surround yourself with the language of strength. Your inner voice is a reflection of what you feed your mind. Just as the body is nourished by the food it consumes, the mind is shaped by the words, ideas, and environments it absorbs every day. If your surroundings are filled with cynicism, self-doubt, or constant comparison, those seeds will take root and grow into the voice of your inner critic. But if you fill your life with words of truth, wisdom, and courage, your inner dialogue will begin to echo those same strengths. The Stoics understood this deeply. They surrounded themselves with philosophy not to escape life, but to face it with clarity. Marcus Aurelius carried his journal everywhere, not to write for others, but to remind himself of the strength he wished to embody. Seneca wrote letters to his friend Lucilius filled with encouragement and practical wisdom, knowing that noble words have the power to lift both the speaker and the listener. He urged his students to associate with those who will make a better man of you. In essence, he was teaching that environment shapes endurance. To apply this step in your own life, be intentional about the language and influences you allow near your mind. Now, do the following. 1. Feed your mind daily. Read something that uplifts your spirit and refines your character every day, whether it's Stoic philosophy, sacred texts, or the words of great thinkers and poets. The goal is not just to read, but to reflect, to let those words seep into your way of thinking. Marcus Aurelius, wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Choose the colors wisely. 2. Surround yourself with voices of courage. Spend time with people who uplift you, those who see your potential, not your limits. Their energy, perspective, and language will begin to influence how you speak to yourself. Seek friendships and communities that celebrate growth, not perfection. 3. Create an environment of peace. Fill your physical and mental spaces with reminders of strength. This could be a meaningful quote on your wall, calming music that grounds you, or even daily journaling that reflects your progress. These small things build a sanctuary for your mind, a place where negativity struggles to survive. When you surround yourself with empowering voices, wisdom becomes your background music. You begin to think differently, speak differently, and ultimately live differently. The world's noise may not stop, but your mind becomes tuned to a higher frequency, one of calm confidence and unshakable purpose.